what has helped me when I've experienced kind of what you're describing is in multiple parts, as he kind of says in the book. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is that the thing to do in the moment is the same exact thing to do outside of the moment, which is to look at yourself and to, look in the mirror and evaluate what's going on, and to sit in whatever it is that your body is experiencing and what you are feeling, because it is valid and it's happening for a reason. So this is something that's helped me recently, for sure, is to, and literally I say recently, like, what day is it? This is maybe like 10 days ago, like right before the full moon. I had a day of high tension, and I had this conversation with Chris where he shared with me, and this is what I applied, and ever since then, it hasn't happened again. So what that information is when that piece of tension comes up, to really sit in it and observe it, and in ways like that to maybe think about, okay, so first identify it, like which you seem to do. You can identify it as a negative emotion. From there, it being a negative emotion, you know that it's not useful, one, and you know, two, that it's an illusion. So whether that's in the moment or outside of the moment, you have those two truths that you use to teach yourself, in a way, really. So as you're sitting in that emotion that arises, so looking at it, where in your life has that come from before? Maybe from, there's so many examples, so I'm actually not even going to give examples, but right, like you look at the emotion, look at the negative emotion, and look in your life where it's been produced before, and look how that led to it being a habit in your life, how it led to you having thoughts of negative self-worth, or led you to being frustrated when someone cut you off. Perfect example for me. Or lead you to, like literally anything. Could be anything that brings about that tension, right? And study it. And something really important that you said, which shows me you're already you're really close to there if you're not already there in terms of that mindset, is that you know that it's not helpful in your life. And that's like the biggest piece of information. So you're experiencing something that you know is not gonna bring about like more positive, and fuck positive, right? But you're experiencing something that isn't a way that you want to live. So you have the choice to live another way. In the moment, the feeling is there. And so if it could be in the moment, it could be actively telling yourself that you're safe, doing physical things to have your body feeling safe, like maybe it's that self-talk, maybe it's something, if you need something in the moment to help you feel safe, to bring you grounded into the moment, to continue going through the path. But really, the moment itself is nothing more than another experience to use as reference for your choices. And there is a world where those moments will cease to exist. The way for that to happen is for you to know that there is a world and a space of reality that you can live in, that those negative emotions cease to exist. And if you know that in your mind, that will be manifested one day. That also takes all of that work too. But if you don't, and not to say you don't, but I'm just saying, if there's no thought, or if you don't actually believe that there's a world or a reality where your soul can be fully at peace, then it's going to live in a reality where there isn't a reality where it's going to be fully at peace. So you have to have that understanding. Like, that's super important, and that I definitely, again, saying that from personal experience, how important that is. And once that understanding is deeply understood, which it takes time. It takes building those new habits and the new strong foundation of trust, showing yourself that you are safe, that you are in control, and that you are in relationship with the universe and all the things that are happening. The, quote, traumas are just habits of protection that we've built throughout our lives. And so it's just building new habits, So all those things that mentioned of how you study those things in the moment, study them outside the moment too. When you post an Instagram post, what are your thoughts? Like, what is just your, unconscious, or even conscious especially, but what is the balance between, or what is the dialogue between those, or what is the dialogue in general of your thoughts? When you're getting dressed, when you get up in the day, when you talk to the dogs, when you talk to yourself, when you're eating, when you're taking a poop, when you're walking on a walk, when you're it's literally that, as consciously as you can in every single moment that you experience studying yourself. And when you're outside of the moment and you can notice those negative things that maybe aren't that loud in that moment, but you can notice them because you hear them, but you for some reason have that control to not let it affect you in that moment, that is the time to really look at it. And if I can handle it, if I can handle it in this moment and I can see that it's an illusion in this moment, then I can do that in every single other moment. It doesn't matter what the moment feels like. I know that that is an illusion, or I know that this self-talk isn't serving me, or I know whatever it is, right? Just study it in every single moment, and it will compound itself to eventually those moments of tension cease to exist, because there is no real battery for negative emotion in our body. It is they're built up habits of protection that have found their way and leached on to other centers in our body, but they're completely artificial. There's not anything that's going to sustain life and growth, which you already said that. So just keep applying that information. In the same way that you study astrology, you study food, energetics, study your thoughts, and you have the choice to make the choices. All right, love you.